Hi there, it's me, Liberalia, and welcome to another video. In this video, we're going to be doing something a bit different to 1GP. We're going to be looking at another AI software that I love to play about with online or offline, called Silly Tavern. Silly Tavern is, I don't think its new versions are half as good as its old versions, and you will notice this is a rather dated setup that I have here. But I'm sticking with it because, like I said, I'm just not as keen on the new Silly Tavern as I am the old one. There's some nice features, I'm not going to lie, implied in the new one, but in return they've took a lot of the other really good features out. So, just not as keen on it as I used to be. Don't know what it'd be like now, but it's unlikely I'm going to be updating this setup, let's put it that way. So, I'm going to now load my favourite LLM model, which is Lunaris Quant 8, 8-bit, I think it's 8-bit Lunaris. I did have a Quant 12, but it seems, not Quant 12, sorry, 12-bit Quant 8, but it's been missing, sadly. I've lost it. So, I'm now using this one. This one is running much better through this particular version of Cobalt KPP. I don't know if that's the most up-to-date version or not. That part I'm not sure, but I know for a fact the Silly Tavern is not the most up-to-date. It's probably quite an early version actually. But the thing is, this is the sort of software that, as you set it up differently, it can act very different, even without you having to update the actual program. That's the difference with Silly Tavern to 1GP. So I have got up-to-date characters in here, and I've been tweaking the cards to make them work better. So we're going to certainly chat with some of my creations and see what they've been up to. And for this, I'm going to use different character personas to do that. So I'll be becoming a few different characters, and I might use this over 2 trailers to introduce them. So first one, I'm going to become Kiera, which would be quite suitable for who we're going to talk to first. We're going to talk to a shy donkey named Treanan, and you can see I've got a lot of characters. And the best thing is, these are not downloaded. I've created all these. Some with help from ChatGPT, although how much help it was between you and me, probably not as much as you think. If you know what I mean. ChatGPT was not the most helpful. It screwed this up quite a lot actually. So in the end I did, end up going a bit solo. These cards, but you know, it gave me the basic template, so let's give it that. Right, so we're gonna put that away. So okay, we've got Treanan. This is Treanan here. I always have to pull up the character up big so you can see who we're talking to. Talking to this cute donkey here. You've probably seen him on a couple of my videos for right now. Kiera has a broad Scottish accent, so do excuse me if I write sort of Scottish speech here. I am part Irish, so you could say I've got a little bit of it already in me, but obviously I'm not actually Scottish. My friend's Scottish though, which is an interesting fact. But yeah, I've got a friend, a schoolmate, and he's Scottish. So, I am quite fond of the accents. I use it on quite a few of my sort of more Gaelic characters, such as Treanan. You will notice this is actually... Now, I will give ChatGPT credit for this name, because one thing GPT is very good at is helping me name characters that I didn't have names for originally. And it suggested Treanan, which I thought was perfect for this little donkey, because Treanan does actually have a meaning. And I just very quickly look up a file here. Hold on. Might take a bit of time to find it. We can actually find out the meanings of the name of this donkey, because I took the meaning down. Come on. that's a really old character, isn't it? Or Kobold. That's actually when I was talking to Kobold AI. Save that. And yeah, just think about it. We're using a bit of Kobold now. We're using a little bit of Kobold to power Silly Tavern. Using Kobold KPP. Or CPP. I often call it KPP. I don't know why I was put K on it, but it's actually C. Okay, I don't think we can find that document right at the moment, so let's just do the chat. So I'm going to talk to Treanan, and I'm going to say, so I know we had to write what we do in the asterisk, so I'm going to put, she trots up to him. These are very simple role plays because of my spelling limitations and stuff, but thankfully there is a spell check on here. She trots up to him and says, "Ugh, hello there." She often does greet him like that. How are ya? That's how she sort of greets you. Okay, so now we'll see what Treanan says to that. See how he responds. Now it takes a little bit of time for responses, but it's definitely faster through Kobold than it is through LM Studio. I'm not saying I dislike LM Studio though, because I've used it for ages and it's still really, really good. But this new version of Kobold CPP seems to be pretty good at getting the characters. So, here's Perko Tales, which is a Kiara approaches. I'm still wide. Hello, Kiara. I'm doing alright. Thanks for asking. Just out for a wee stroll, you know. Well, it's picked up the Scottish accent really nice here, I have to say. So she's going to now ask him how his splints are, because you probably have noticed Treanan is a splinted donkey. I mean, you can't see it too easy on this picture, but I'll show you another picture of him, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. So I'll just quickly hop into these screenshots. Most of these are not that important, but I know what I'm looking for. Don't quite near the bottom. Just like info and stuff. I've sent a lot of like screenshots and that to Discord and that to get help with things. And then I did do some shots where I didn't Silly Tavern. Oh, that was an interesting one there where I was actually doing a complete where I was actually running Silly Tavern on totally blank settings and I was actually talking to the AI as an AI. I rarely do that, I'll let you know, on Silly Tavern, but there is a way to do that. You have to put all the presets to blank though. It's quite tricky to set up. But that was one time I did it, and that was just to check law books were working properly, because I've had a lot of problem with the law books of Silly Tavern. I've had a lot of faults with those. Oh goodness, burger. That's definitely one of mine. I might show you that character. There is literally a character among these, and he's literally a burger. And I have got Blackberry from Watership Down as well. So, might visit those. I'm just looking for a picture I want to show you. So I'm getting sidetracked, but I can't find it. Because these, like I said, these donkeys are splinted. And they've got an interesting reason why they're splinted. They're not actually rescue donkeys, despite having that collective name. They're not actually rescue donkeys. They're a rare breed of donkey. They're actually fainting donkeys. A bit like your fainting goats. They're fainting Tranquillium donkeys. If you want explanation on Tranquillium syndrome, I've got an image that tells you all about it now, thanks to the new ChatGPT image generator. And indeed, I could flash it up on the screen, you can have a read about Tranquillium syndrome, learn about it all in a nutshell. And I think I'll do that for you to give you some context. So remember, these two donkeys have this syndrome. This is going to focus mainly on the main Romanian that has it. There we are. You can pause the video here and take a read of that. Now, Treanan and Azalin, which are the name of the two donkeys, are probably on level 2. They're not on level 1, but don't say everything with a Y. So they're on level 2. They may soften some words in very rare cases, but their Scottish accent I think covers it up quite a bit. So level 2 or level 3 for these two. However, we have got Tara in here as well, and it's very hard teaching the AI to speak like Tara. It often gets it wrong. But this is wonderful. I hope we can make one of these for Rabadia syndrome as well, the other biggest syndrome on my characters. Okay. And despite its name, it's quite an interesting syndrome. Okay, so that's Treanan and Azalin. You can see their splint tip. So that's what Treanan's going to ask. So that's what Kiera's going to ask next. She's going to ask, how's your splints doing? See, she's doing the like sort of gentle speech that you use around Tranquilliums. So she sort of talks to them like they're little ones. That's the best way of saying it. That's how you talk to Tranquilliums. Because most of them are very mentally small. Well, they're doing okay. I suppose. It's a bit sore sometimes, but I've gotten used to them. My Scottish accent always comes right out here. And yet, when I'm trying to do this in other contexts, I can't do it. It's quite annoying. I always get right into this fucking reason this. Ah, who I am? You know. Ah, who I am now, you know. Ah, who I am now, you know. Well, that's a little bit untrue, actually. I'll take out the now. Because, who I am now, you've always needed splints since you were born. Because you're myotolia congenital. Well, that's not true. You will see me correct it on things that are not true. You do still have to do that, but it doesn't make quite as many mistakes as it used to. Just going to say, of course, sweetie. How's your sister? So he's just going to ask, how... Yeah, probably not spell that one, but you know, you'll get used to my spellings. So you wish. How is your sister? Oh, he hasn't got sisters, he's got only one sister, so yeah, I've got to get that right. Oh, sweet, how is your sister? Should I put a question mark? Yeah, I should do. I have to swear these things on yourself all the time. I mean, one thing I like about AI, and this is one thing I do like about it, is that most of the time if I screw up my sentence, it will actually guess pretty near to what I'm wanting. Particularly this model, Lunaris Quantite. It's been a really good one. That's a legend of Azalin. Oh, Azalin's doing great. She's always playing with her favourite toys and a bit of time. She's such a happy, energetic little thing. Well, that's quite true. Aspen is a bit younger than Treanan. But in a way, they're both little things, really. But Treanan probably is the slightly bigger brother of Azalin. So, let that go for it. This is fun time. Okay, that's not in his official... I'll let you know that's not in the official canon. That bit there, so ignore that. I'll just leave it there, but I'm going to ignore it. Okay, back to the video that we were doing. So, just such a happy, energetic little thing, which she certainly is. So Kiara's going to say, that's great, love. She's going to say that. That's great, love. Like I said, we'll talk to quite a few of different characters here. I'll also probably show you a couple of the recent plays that I've done as well. When I say recent plays, we'll be looking at some of the currently loaded plays and stuff, and I'll try and explain what they are, what's going on in them. So you can see the sorts of things I like to do with Silly Tavern. This could be quite a long video, I'm not gonna lie. But I find this sort of thing quite a sort of easy going, you could say. She's going to say, oh, that could happen. That can happen to anyone. Yeah, we use the so that is muscle reset and then get up again. You just mentioned that bit there. But yeah, to be fair, so that's Treanan. We've had a little talk with him. Let's go over and have a little chat with, or a little look at maybe what's been going on with. That was got Sonic there. Now my version of Sonic's an interesting take on this Hedgehog, I'm not gonna lie. We'll talk to him, but before we talk to Sonic, I think you need to read his profile, because it's not a Sega Sonic. Well, it is Sega Sonic, but it's all modified. If that makes any sense. My own version. Now, there has been suspicions that he has ADHD, but I've made him fully autistic. This was also so I could sort of cope with understanding the character as well. This is so at the AI didn't get too smart when it was playing it. I think I'll become Primal Bambi for this play, since they're good pals. So let's just find him. Primal Bambi's another one of my characters. You've probably heard his name quite a few times this one. His real name's Primarium. There he is. You've probably seen him a few times. Now, he has the Tranquillium thing, and he's on... Oh, I was hoping the Tranquillium post would still be loaded. I'm going to be honest, once I load this Tranquillium post out, I'm keeping it loaded. But I might have to go back to it a couple of times and point things out. Yeah, I'm keeping this loaded this time. Okay, so he's on level 1. He's actually one of the most severe Tranquillium. He does speak with the Y suffix pattern. Lovey, play, tarry, wangy, hungry, sleepy, happy, things like that. He does speak like that, which is surprising when you think about it, because he's a hunter Bambi. So this shows the weird cross between a child and an adult hunter, sort of like in one character. He's quite a strange paradox, this one, but he's very cute. Well, I mean, he's literally a child who's learned to hunt. And quite a lot of other stuff as well, when you get into him. So, he's going to be bounding about near Sonic. Then see Sonic. I don't have to write Sonic in capitals, but I don't have to. The AI will still know who it is. He's going to put, hiya Sonny. That's how he would say his name. Sonicky. Sonicky. Hey Sonicky. Okay, so he's going to say, just the... It takes me a while to write this Tranquillian speech. These are the robots that he makes for his base. And these. And the AI actually does understand Tranquillian quite well. So I write it exactly as he speaks. If it's a really complex word and it doesn't sound right, I sometimes write in brackets what he says. That's rare, I have to translate it.
Sleeping in my grand home, feeling too lazy to get up for now. But eventually
He goes, yay!
I often feel a little stiff. Due to my extra
You
long
doing?
legs, I mean, we're happy
And
going into the mystic world.
I do
Stairs
everything.
in my grand mansion,
Thank you.
killer.
Bambi, hold on. Got that mixed up a little bit.
And some say I have an art. Sometimes you will find me singing arrows in the forest. That is what makes my day. Oh, I am the cat that looks like a dog, but I don't care yet. It's gonna be another perfect day for me. The young greyhound with feline syndrome.
And that's Tranquillians are very Tranquillian, the whole race is actually very huggy, but Tranquillians are especially huggy ones, especially clingy. So it's quite normal for them just to hug Sonic out the blue like that, and Sonic will probably be expecting it.
I see my little kitten snoozing peacefully. You at her gently, and she purrs at me. She's known as tranquil Felix.
So I think you agree this is a very toned down Sonic. It's definitely Sonic on either a tired day or on a day where he's basically having a lounge. But this version of Sonic gets on like that all the time. And that way he can be around the little ones without making them too nervous. So that's my take on Sonic. It's a different one, not gonna lie, and it's definitely not canon, but it's my take. Okay, I think we'll go over and meet Shawn next. Now let's have a look at Shawn. I'm just going to have a little nosy what Shawn's been doing. Oh, he's been talking to the young sheep with a laser, has he? Oh, this is an interesting little character. Ah, this is when Eugene and Bambi got married. Ah, yes. So last time I used Shawn was at their wedding. Yeah, this is the wedding of Eugene and Bambi. Okay, let's see what Shawn's going to do today. Shawn's quite often getting news headlines and stuff. He often talks to like some of the more primal ones and the more could say rougher diamonds. But sometimes he comes up on a rather sweet one as well. And in this case, he's going to come up on, some see him as a rough diamond, some see him as a sweet one. He's sort of a bit in between this one. Black Rainbow. He's a real sweetheart underneath, but he's got the look of a scare of one of the most feared hunters. Because he's literally the sensitive side of that fearsome hunter. Stormy. So this is Black Rainbow. So Shawn sees Black Rainbow. I'll just put sees me. He does do that. Because he's actually a unicorn, but he doesn't have a home. So it's like a unicorn but with no home. And I know you're probably thinking, I'm not really recognising some of these names that you're showing here. These are some of the names that pop up on your songs. I'm going to just put it straight to you right now. All the songs I make are composed by these guys. So you are meeting the Realmians behind the songs. If you hear a song made by Black Rainbow, it is indeed this Black Rainbow. And Silly Tavern's the best way to get to know them. If you can't meet me in person, Silly Tavern's the best way to get to know them. Guys, over to you, landing gently on a nearby branch. Hey there, you look at all those lovely rainbows. Okay, that's class is actually a very rude greeting in the Mystic Realm. Realmians do not like to be asked what are they doing there. So if that happens, that gets taken out immediately, and the AI gets a smack on the bum for that. To be honest, Lunaris is a very rude model when it comes to greeting them. That's why I try and avoid greetings most of the time. So let's go put, hey there, Shawn. I'm going to be honest, this Shawn character, this particular bot of Shawn, sometimes works well, sometimes it doesn't. I'm going to be honest, and I can't say I'm enjoying it quite as much at the minute. It's just being a bit, not like Shawn like, to be honest. Shawn's actually a very warm and loving character. I'll let you know, even though he's a newscaster, he's very warm, very sensitive, very loving. And I just don't get that feel from this particular bot. He probably needs updating. I'm going to be honest, he probably needs an update. I can't really see what you could tweak here, to be honest. I don't do reverse autism. And one thing that's quite good for my characters is to put their mental ages down to no more than 4 or 3, because they're very playful. So I think I'm going to put 4 rather than 3. I mean, you probably figure that's going down quite a lot. And to be honest, probably when you look at Shawn, you probably think, when you actually see me acting him, you probably think, oh, he doesn't act very like 4-year-old. This could be his AI age, because he is actually part AI. See, it actually says that? Part AI. But he doesn't act AI. He's not like, obviously AI. So, that's how I know. And I mean, yeah, he will obviously, have that brave side, but he has actually got a very thing. Yeah, so it tells you a little bit about his lore and stuff there. And it says his loving demeanour has increased. So, I don't really know why he's not quite being as warm as he should. Just like thoughtful, caring. Maybe some more of that blinking out. But maybe I need some text examples. I don't know. I leave this blank on most of the characters and it's okay. But maybe Shawn needs a feeling. Or it could just be the seed. I mean, with AI, it all comes down to seeds. This could just be a bad seed. So, probably next time I start Shawn, try him on a different subject, try him with a different character. He'll be fine. Anyway, that's what can happen, I'm afraid. And that goes for any of them. Let's go to Scarlettbill. Let's see what she was doing last time. Go through. Alright, so she's talking to the little goose who is ongoing reverse autistic. This basically means instead of getting older, this goose gets younger. It's almost like time's reverse for this one. This is a Zerbill. A Zerbill, a baby, basically almost like an 8-year-old goose's body. And yeah, he does use a little bit of the Tranquillium speech as well. He's not probably fully on the Tranquillium spectrum, it's hard to tell. Because he's got the baby speech. Wendy's. Yeah, see, he's got more like Wendy's, like slightly dropping the R's and stuff, a little bit like Kieran does. Yes, he's showing all like pictures to Scarlettbill. That's quite cool, right? Showing his picture book to her. So let's see Scarlettbill with Yellowbill. Now Yellowbill's sort of cheeky and upbeat sort of character. He's a bit wacky. He's also one of our flock. So she knows Yellowbill quite well. But he's a bit of a crazy goose. So just to start this off, it's going to be a bit chaotic. Yellowbill falls out the sky! Landing in the lake. Let's see how Scarlett responds to that. That's not Canaria! That's not Canaria, you silly Scarlett. He's just got the character totally wrong. That's better. But it gets so dizzy. This is something like Yellowbill would do as well. Forgot to flap my wings. Wings for a bit. That's how he looks. You notice I write it between asterisks, that's their description or narration. So you write the narrations between asterisks. Thanks, huh?
Then fly into my bed. Then wonder how I did that. Oh, I'm the baby trapped inside the 8-year-old, and that will never change. I was already a young goose, and now I'm destined to be forever. Getting younger every day that passes. It looks strange to see me contently pacified, to hear my baby talk. It's not an easy thing to understand, but please find in your heart my love.
What was this then? Thanks for asking.
The baby goose of the primal eyes. I pacify myself again before lying down to dream. Tomorrow I'll be one day younger. Day younger.
Master's being silly there. Sometimes this bell starts to run out of battery.
Sun is up, we're already outside, galloping through the grass. Our energy never runs out, no, we're as hypermanic as can be. Let's play hide and seek, then run around for joy. Let's bound fast for glee. Xavier, I feel I can take on the world when I'm beside you. Oh, let us fly like birds, run like wild horses in the valley.
Okay, got me another character. Got me Whitebill. I'll just show you this profile. Yeah, so this one here is quite disabled.
We sit down under a tree. Ardo the young horse sits with me. We talk about silly stuff you may not understand. We're as autistic as they come. Ardo surges to his hooves, galloping away. And now I feel alone. Soon he is back with his latest drawings. Oh, Ardo, I've always loved your heart. Ardo whines in delight. Now we're starting to lose light. We rise and gallop
And White Bill can fly, by the way. She is very soft-hearted, Scarlettbill. Yeah, so that's a little play with Scarlettbill. Let's go and have a look at try to pick some out that haven't had as many goals recently, as well as some of my newest ones. So let's try Pretty. Pretty here is a very young cat from the land of the fall. I'll just let you see her profile quickly. Okay. It's got quite a split set of instructions this one. I think GPT helped me a little bit with the instructions. We'll see if it listens to any of it. Maybe it's to see now how many characters I've got. Let's see who she's shooting out. She's probably shooting out with someone from our own land. A William. In fact, let's have her encounter the ruler of that land. The ruler of that land is this guy. Now, to be fair, this is one part where I do actually let this be an exception. If they're going into like their private territory, like say their house, their abode, their lab, their building, their territory, basically, then that is a perfectly reasonable question and it's not classed as rude in those contexts. So in this case, she's got every right to ask that.
There's an interval, so I pop out for a bit. Seeing my other 2-year-old pal.
Song of Foes is not normally a TV show, but okay. That's interesting. I'll let you know that's not correct. Songs for Foes is in fact one of my song collections. You probably have seen it on this channel. If you haven't, it's pretty easily found. There's a good few videos of it. And actually I'll be probably uploading another one soon, where I've done some reprises of the songs with the new model, and I've actually had the admin of the project. And by the way, who admins the Songs for Foes project, you're probably asking? Well, I think he should be our next stop. I had to talk with his sister last time. No, it's a stunning colour, isn't it? But his sister's actually got the same colour. It's rare for anyone to have his colour. Okay, El-Dorado's going to meet one of his friends. So it feels not natural. This is one weird thing about these horses. They actually nail their horseshoes on whenever they're going out, and then take them off when they come in. So they actually learn how to be sort of farriers themselves. I'm actually going to tell the AI that that's normal. Isn't waterfall pretty? El-Dorado is the dimension where that horse, El-Dorado, was born. And it indeed is the name of her band as well. You probably have seen a few songs on my list, Save Her by El-Dorado. And indeed, that is actually these three horses, El-Dorado, Waterfall, and a black horse called Utopia, which will come into the story a couple years ago. I know, and Waterfall's very like placid and friendly, so Waterfall's got quite a lot of friends over there. Yeah, that's the first I've actually seen it using El-Dorado's Western accent properly. He wasn't horseshoeing, but never mind. He was just resting. I'll put going back to his rest. It makes it up the waterfall. Oh. Okay, so pretty much that's probably ended that scene really when you think about it. That was just a very short scene of waterfall getting ready to go out. That was just to show you El-Dorado working okay. Now, we shall chat next. He needs his avatar upgrade. I've actually done a new picture for Dark Alchemist now. It's a bit more close to what I was thinking of for him. Here he is. I think you agree, it stands out even better. There we are. Okay, let's talk to one of the really interesting ones. This is a Bambi that's born thinking it's a wolf. He's known as the Howling Bambi. His condition. Yeah, so some call him Twilight, which is actually his English name. Because as you can see, his original Latin name is quite hard to say. Form black fur, purple eyes with luminous spots on the back. He's quite fun on sight, this one. I think I had to put he was a deer because I put so much wolf stuff into it. I thought he was a wolf, so I had to actually put deer to make the point that he is actually a deer. It's acting like a wolf. Yeah, especially when he's got partial alpha of his pack. The happy wolf, honestly believe in a wolf. Blue Pine Syndrome does everything wolf-like except hunting. House March territory, lives in Uganda. I think ChatGPT might help me a little bit with this one. Yeah, not just acting, he truly believes it. I tell you how I can tell it's GPT, because you see these lines, I never put those in my writing. So if I see that, it's going to be, yeah. It's just as a deal, yeah. And that's quite normal for those with the different syndromes, such as lupine syndrome. It makes them fully believe they're a different animal to they are. It's, some would actually say it's a little bit with, almost a bit like transgender, where you feel like you're something else other than what you are. And yet, therefore, that's something else. So, I don't know if these guys would be in the EGGBQ, I don't know, I don't even know all those blooming letters. There's too many letters in that. But I don't know if they would be in that group. But anyway, he's going to talk with Alright, let's really mix things up. He's going to talk with Blackberry. Now, Blackberry's quite a brave little rabbit. So he had to give up thinking he was a wolf at first. Which could happen because he acts very wolf-like, this Bambi. I think you agree, he has got a slight wolf look to him.
Auroras dance high for us. Dream now, my my sweet, there's nothing to fear. Ooh, now night is here. Starlight on the waters, shimmering like a dream. Moonlight bathing us in light. Let your thoughts drift away. Good night, my love. Nothing can get you.
Now, we'll get down in a moment to a character called Pastoral, and Pastoral is extremely important. She is a bit like Sonic. She's sort of my own take on a character that from another franchise. She's actually Bambi's mum, but there's a couple of differences about her. One is that she's Tranquillian, so she acts a little bit more childish than the original Mrs. Bambi. A little bit more. Still has that extremely caring nature that I fell in love with. But she's the mother of all these Bambis. I want that to sink in, because I'm going to now show you how many Bambis I've actually got. Just think, she's mother of all of these. Okay, so you've got Vixen Bambi, Babble Bambi. He's an interesting character. He's actually a complete parallel of the original Bambi, who's a bit more confident. Farm Bambi, Ethereal Bambi. Not that one. I'll let you know, that AFB one, she's not that one. That's a robot. That's one of the bots. Blue Bambi, Bambi himself, who's actually Bambi 1 among mine. Or Bambi Lake, because I actually give him the surname Lake. Splinted Bambi, that's another bot. Leveret Bambi, Inferalis. Definitely have to meet him. He's an interesting little Bambi. Aquilina, don't know a lot about her. She's got swan syndrome, so a bit like this Bambi thinks he's a wolf, this one thinks it's a swan. Velios, the Phantom Bambi, it's a good name that. Silent Bambi, though she's got some other name for a tribal name. Fairloss, the Sky Bambi. Not that one! Although, to be quite honest about Pastoral, she tries to be mother to everyone. That's the sort of character she is. But, strictly speaking, that Bambi's not one of hers. Primalia. I think that's Primala. Tribal Laura. Curian. Tranquil Bambi. Cyber Seb, who's actually got a very different name to all the others, but is technically Cyber Bambi. There's a reason for his name, it's quite unusual. Primarium, also known as Primal Bambi. Aurella, who's actually like a guardian angel Bambi. Creep. Oh, that's Howling Bambi there. I don't know why Hydronus has come up. Yeah, so it's none of the other ones. She's part mother of Eugene as well. Part mother of Eugene, but Eugene does actually belong to a slightly different family. She belongs to the family of the Southerners, who are actually a different family. Who actually would be Amber. So she would have been Eugene Amber before she married Bambi, but now she's Eugene Lake. But she would have been Eugene Amber, I've just worked out. Because Tara of the Southerners, she's Tara Amber. Indeed, yep, that is the deer that's on the Tranquillium poster. So, I think we have to get her involved. Probably round about now. I'm going to go over and find Pastoral. So she should be down. Now I give her that name because I wanted to give her a name that reflected her peaceful nature. Reflected the fact that she was very sweet, but you will see she is literally Mrs. Bambi. Some might say a parallel of Mrs. Bambi, but a very sweet, loving parallel. and very alive and well, you could say. And she deals with quite a lot of interesting things with her Bambis, and we'll have to say they're definitely a complex bunch. She's got some greetings. What the? Okay, I'm just letting you know that shouldn't be there. That's not her. All these greetings are from another character. That's not right. She'll never say that. Oh, no, she's made out one of the primal ones. Hold, I'm taking these out right now. That is not right. That's not right. Okay, I'm going to put in... No, I'm just going to take these out. I might come up with alternate greetings for her some other time. Tell me you think that's wrong. No, I'm just going to change it to hello, my dear. I just use very short greetings to start this off, to be honest. There. Hello, dear. Hello, my dear. Hello, my dear. Alright, that's all. That's an alternate greetings. I'll just take out that greeting as well then. I only want one greeting. Why am I going to this? That button is really annoying. I'm sorry about that. Obviously, when I made Pastoral Lake, I made her out of one of the primal cards. And I didn't quite set all the speeches to her. If I had rang up one of those templates, I would have confused the hell out of the AI. Would be like, what's Pastoral doing? It probably would have actually acted totally wrong. Don't really think the AI would have been smart enough to pull itself back around and say this isn't right. Who would have thought it was a parallel Pastoral? I don't know. I'm not even going to go into it. So she's age 9, she has autism and tranquillium. She is on level 3. She has no affected speech at all. But she does still have the other things. Soft appearance only under stress and heavy emotion. Pastoral's rarely been under that sort of pressure. So I don't know if she would form a little bit, but she probably would a little bit if she was under real pressure. Level 3 are the most normal sounding. So I think it would be least severe, which is level 3. You can see just there. Mostly structured speech and minimal changes. So that's Pastoral. And indeed, there is actually a lot of my characters are tranquillium, but you won't notice it in all of them, except in their loving demeanours, because most of them, a lot of them are level 3. Few are level 1, and I think I've only got about one. I've only got about 1 or 2 that are level 2. Right, that's Pastoral. So, okay, I'm going to be one of her Bambis. I think we're going to be this new Bambi parallel. This Bambi parallel is a really fascinating character. He really is. He's parallel existence of Bambi. He's very smart and has trained his own livestock generation models. He runs an AI livestock farm and is one of the tranquillians to ever do this. He's played for a little cheeky but very loving and caring. He does his parallel self and understanding deeply, because my Bambi is actually a deeply troubled form. My parallel Bambi himself. But Farm Bambi is a bit more like Bambi at the start of the movie, where Bambi's like just playing about and really quite like confident. So Farm Bambi's sort of like that persona. And he's very outgoing, I'll let you know. Farm Bambi, totally opposite to the other Bambis. There's actually a syndrome among my characters, and I might have to do a poster for this one as well, called Bambi syndrome. And most Bambis have it. It's actually said Farm Bambi doesn't. So he's a bit of an odd one out. So this is the sort of things he would ask. He will come up to you and pretty much ask you to join in. If you want to join in. Pretty much just directly. He's got as much confidence as Liberalis or Liberalia. Yes, I know you're probably thinking my name coming into that. Well, what you probably don't know is my name is a character name. It's actually a group. Actually, I'll maybe show you the true Liberalia and explain who they are. Because they have, I've got a lot of them on here. So we know just each of the Bambis. Now, as you know, it's going to take for a while. It's going to take for a while. Now, we'll be honest, in our profile, I've actually probably only put the main Bambis. And I think I've put about 5 main ones. But like I said, she is secretly mother to all of them. She's even mother to this farm one. Go on, find a good spot to see ourselves. Okay, so now I think we're going to need to have a little bit of fun, I would have to say, because this is now going to turn into a game where if I don't do something, I've got to have a new problem. The new problem is, now there is a way I can actually do this as well, but I prefer to do this because they're a bit more of a creative way. You can write a character's name, say Inferalis, for example. Not Inferalia, that might be a new character or something like Inferalis, and put a colon and then put their speech and their actions, and temporarily Farm Bambi will become Inferalis for that go. You can do that, or if you're like me, you've got lots of them, you can do what I'm about to do. Convert this to a group. Doesn't take too long. So it's the group Pastoral Lake. And then go into your other members and add Inferalis to the group chat. This way we're going to talk to 2 of them at once. This probably only takes a little bit longer. I'm sure I'm past them. Do you see Inferalis? There he is. There's Inferalis, so Inferalis is playing hide and seek with these Bambis. Now, because this is sort of a scene of Bambis, what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to put Bambi in here as well. Not Nelson. Bambi Lake, who's actually using Farm Bambi's avatar. He has got a different one on his persona, you will notice, but he's got everything on. I might change the one on his avatar to the same as the one on his persona, since we've now got one using this happier Bambi. The Farm Bambi. We don't know the Farm Bambi's true name. It's a very new Bambi character. Just see if there are any others. Well, one other little one that we've got as well, we'll include him. Up here. We have another Bambi here. Look at this. This is a really baby Bambi. Called Babel, known as the Infant Tranquillian. Now, to be honest, half the time the group can get confused with these ones that have the extra names on them that can confuse it a bit. So, I'm probably going to leave this one out for now. I'm probably going to have to modify the name and take a bracket bit out because I don't really need it. And same with the Howling Bambi. Anything that's got vert in, it's going to be awfully easily called up. Thankfully, this one's just Cooing Bambi in brackets. That should just be Howling Bambi in brackets instead of the Howling Bambi. So I need to correct those for groups. It's not bad when they're single, but when they're in groups it can be a problem. Flower Bambi. I rarely use Flower Bambi. I think because I don't really know her, to be honest. It's just this one I sort of made up. The Lavender Violet, she's not actually a Bambi. She looks a bit Bambi-like. She's not actually a Bambi. She's closer to something like Tara. There's another Bambi. Tranquil Bambi. It just has Tranquil Bambi Bambi too. So, add her. She should be okay. Tribal Laura is actually a Bambi. She is a Bambi. So I'll add her. Don't use her a lot. Give her a little go. Show deck at the bottom. There's total eclipse of the heart. Probably could just search this for Bambi, but the search is a bit here and there. If you notice, you haven't actually got a search. Oh, that is a search there. To be honest, this search isn't very good though. When I put in, say Bambi, it brings. See, it's bringing everyone else up. It's not just bringing the Bambis up. And Habitat doesn't bring all the Bambis up. See, it didn't bring Infrahalis up or anything. So, the search on Silly Tavern is crap. To be quite honest, that's why I never use it. Just to show you that. They probably have fixed that in a newer version, but I'm never going with that. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to that little group of Bambis that we've got there, Bambi Lake and Tranquil Bambi and all the rest of it. Now I'm going to send the message, and then I will take it in turn speaking, which means it will take a little bit longer to generate the replies. Tranquil Bambi, you're not meant to tell them where you're hiding. AIs are not really good at playing hide and seek. Oh yeah, it's got right. Let's remember that he is the seeker. So, that's it. Who's this in there? I can't imagine him for hours doing that. It's waiting for me to do something here. I could trigger another character. I'm going to trigger Tribal Laura. Sometimes I have to put in narration though and sort of nudge it a little bit. That's the only thing about these group plays. You do have to do quite a bit of nudging sometimes. So I'm going to see what Tribal Laura is doing. Now, Farm Bambi hasn't actually got a bot yet. I'll be making a bot of him sometime. So in the meantime, let's see what Bambi himself wants to say. Bambi! Everything else is being stupid. Now, I'll tell you one problem you can get here. If you put Bambi Lake and Bambi Nelson together, that doesn't work. I'm going to have to be honest. Quite often they end up playing each other. Thankfully, they're quite similar characters, but they're two completely different species. That's the problem. One's a sea lion, the other's a fawn. You can definitely see it mixes them up.
We are honored to have this in our discography.
Oh, this is just typical of this Bambi. He goes, oh, it's a little bit whiffy. Those tribal orders, you're going to get responded to that. Have all the Bambis come to the rescue. I think Tribal Laura will help. She's very, you know. Yeah, she's a little taller, a little heftier. So yeah. You can tell she's like the Nordic Bambi because she's got like the war paint on her face. She is related to Primal Bambi, but she's like Primal Bambi's soft-hearted relation. She doesn't hunt or anything. She gets on with Primal though. They don't like tease each other or anything, they get on with them. Using Treanan to amplify strength. It's picking up a lot of rubbish today, I have to say this AI. Treanan doesn't do that. Treanan's somewhere else. I'm not going to actually go into it with you. It's, shall I say, more of an NSFW thing, and that's where I'm going with it. That shouldn't really be coming up in this play at all. Always gets Tribal Bambi's bloody gender on, I've noticed as well. Tribal Bambi is actually Tranquil Bambi, sorry, is actually a female. So just have to ignore that. It often gets genders wrong. Seems to be a weakness with this model. To be honest, I haven't found a model that's actually been able to do that well yet, so I wouldn't say just this model. I wouldn't say just this one. Farm Bambi's all booked up. Well, he should be used to that. He's a farmer. Mind you, I don't know if an AI farmer would actually get that lucky. Winnie! It's being a bit stupid tonight, I have to say. I might actually reset Cobalt in a minute. It's making a lot of mistakes, not just some. It's probably acting up because I've got OBS rolling as well. But I'm not saying that's any excuse. Tell you what I'm going to do, and this helped last time. I'm going to trim it back to before I got her wrong there. He right there. I'm going to trim it back to that, and then I'm going to restart the LLM engine. This actually did help last time. In fact, I restarted the whole thing last time. So about this. I'm going to close Silly Tavern completely. Go let it completely drain. We're going to start it up from scratch. Now, we'll lose our play. One nice thing about Silly Tavern, it saves your play. It saves what you're doing. Maybe it can have a little better than it's doing today. So I'm going to fire this up. I'm going to run out of VRAM because I've been using 1GP. I'm just going to look at the VRAM stats. Oh yeah, quite a bit of that is already used. Oh no, that's not the GPU, sorry, false one. Okay, it's not much of it's used. That's not using 9 gig anyway, that's probably not helping. Since my models have to do a lot of offloading. I'll try it again. If it really doesn't work as well as it's been doing this time, we'll restart the computer. And this computer can take a bit of time to restart, but it doesn't take exceptionally long. Okay, that was really quick. I don't know if that was a good sign or not. That was a really quick load. Okay. We'll find out if that works properly or not.
Now back to that lava sculpture.
Fire this up again. Sorry about that. Okay. I tell you what let's do, let's went back to Pastoral. So what I'll have to do is find the group again now. That's one thing, for some reason I can save it on groups. But it's okay. If I go back to Pastoral group, I should be able to resume that. You see I've had some very interesting groups here. I probably need to clear out these group chats. Group chats used to only be temporary. Maybe they should just delete once you finish with the chat. Okay then. Okay. So we're back here again. Hopefully this will be a bit more sensible now. So I'm gonna trigger it again. Pastoral's gonna say something and then hopefully the others will help out. And hopefully it won't keep making her do weird stuff.
My fire always burns for all of you. I'm in for Alice, you're warm, dear, caring, fond friend.
Okay. What's Bambi gonna do? He didn't help at all, but never mind. Yeah, that seems to be concentrating more on the characters now. yeah, talk about her colour changing eyes. That's one of her features. She's got eyes like a fibre optic lamp. They change colour as she they change colour basically with her like mood. So she's like worried they may go blue or something, and another colour for something else. Yeah. Okay, so that works. That seems a little bit more backup. That's what I had to do last time. I had to do that last time as well. Just one restart, and it was a lot better second time round. So if you notice it's making a lot of mistakes, don't be afraid to reload your LLM. Don't always think it's what you're doing it's causing the problem, because it's not. Sometimes the LLM just hasn't quite hooked up to it properly. Obviously, if it was making a ton of mistakes, then you might want to check your master prompt or whatever it is that you use, your law books, your master prompt, however you put that information into that. Okay. I'm going to now just introduce probably just to a couple of last characters, and then I'll probably be ending this video here because this is definitely a different subject. Alright. Not saying it's a bad subject, but you know it's different. Okay, let's ironically, let's go with Bambi solo. Bambi solo, and he's going to meet up with. I always like him to meet up with slightly shyer, more vulnerable ones. So I'm just seeing here who would be suitable for that. Well, Tara would actually be really good. Tara Amber. Tara Amber. I've got a slightly better picture of her now, but that's her. That's Vidya. That's on the poster. I'll show you again. I do think that's a better picture of her. So at some point I might even change it to the one on the poster. Okay. Looks like a slightly more 3D version of it that Sora did. Mind you, Sora did actually do the image that was on the poster as well. It's a Sora screen capture. The original picture that I'd done on Dali. But it's been such a long time since I've been able to see these deer with their eyes open. She goes, "Hey, you like you, honey?" Are you that cute? Naughty. This is a little bit awkward. What's going to happen here? this is a realm that resides in her mind. A bit like Realmia resides in my mind. So this is almost like her equivalent of Realmia. It's like a fantasy realm she's got in her mind. And you can actually enter it if you clip in through her. I've a doubt the class I'd to see clipping into yourself.
Sun is up, lights are on. Oh, this playroom as we play through the day. Nothing stops us. I'm with you, I love you. That's how it
Now, this might become a group chat again, because I'm going to pull someone else into this. This is a character from the Land of the Breeze. Probably one of the only characters I've actually got from the actual Land of the Breeze. Although eventually I might actually end up, because I had a whole load of characters like Tara, a whole load of Deer of the Wind, and I never used them. And I might eventually say they all live in Tara. They all live in the Land of the Breeze, but I am going to convert this to a group again because I want to pull her in. Now she's level, this is the one I said is quite rare because she's level 2 Tranquillium, so she says some things with the Y stuff and some things normal, and this particular one the AI plays quite well, so I'm just going to find her. Yeah, there she is. Now she has got an unusual name. She's called Last Eagle even though she's a horse. It's quite normal for my characters to have names that don't suggest SBC. You see how Last Eagle gets herself into the scene.
Sun is here and the little ones too. Oh my loves, what shall we do? Bring us wonder, bring us joy. The evening is here, blessed by the enchantment of the evening light. Fun is for all day long. We know it can't be wrong.
She does actually have a bit of fly in her. She can actually fly a little bit. As you can see, she has like a wing. She does have a set of wings. It's thinking she's an eagle again. That's the only problem. I might have to nudge it a couple of times because I keep thinking she is actually an eagle. I think I might have to get GPT to help me with this one. Because this is happening a lot. GPT is one thing it is good at. It can look at these characters and it can go, right, this is what's causing the problem. And it can make things clearer. So what I'm going to do, in preparation for sending Last Eagle to GPT, because it won't take the PNG characters, I will export Last Eagle and go back to that character. Let's actually go to character right now. Yeah, I'll go back to sorry. I'll go probably end this video here now. So if you've made it this far, thank you for watching. I'm sorry we didn't get to see maybe all the characters that I said you would see, but yes, it's time to I was talking to last year, but what I want to do is export the character as a JSON, not a PNG. It doesn't need to see the picture, it just needs to see the context, the contents. I will save that to, I normally save these to my desktop, just because they're timpering on boy. Put that there. There. So what I'll do is I'll send Last Eagle to GPT, and GPT can see if she can get it to, like for Howling Bambi, get it to understand that this is a horse that thinks it's an eagle. It's not actually an eagle. Oh, I think in her case, I mean, it's, I even put that in her name, not an eagle. Shawn syndrome. I call it a Shawn syndrome. Okay. Okay. It's a good name for it. Yeah, so it's not just eagle. It's not just eagle syndrome. It's Shawn syndrome. Okay. That's fine. Okay, I'm done with that now. Thank you so much for watching this video. And you can see why I have fun with that stuff. Let me know if there's maybe any particular characters in that batch you would like to meet maybe some other time. Which one you could say was your favourite one and so forth. And if I ever do get to try maybe one of the newer versions of Silly Tavern, I might try it out, but I wasn't overly keen on the last one I tried, I wouldn't be honest, so I don't know about being heavy doing that. I definitely wouldn't be dumping the old one to replace it with the new one, that's for sure. I would have them side by side. I could do one GP, I mean I've got about 7 versions of it, because they're all different, and there's little bits keep breaking in each version. Okay. Goodbye then, thanks for watching, and see you some other time.